if you were to actually stack it in your favor by doing these things, like seeking the coaching that we're talking about, by as you just said, Bob, as by volunteering for these things, putting your hand up, getting uncomfortable, by sharing your portfolio out, by building apps, by networking, spending time with people, all those things, right? That's stacking the cards in your favor. And if you're doing all of those things, the success will come. Hello and welcome to the Pybites podcast, where we talk about Python, career, and mindset. We're your hosts. I'm Julian Sequeira.
And I am Bob Beldebos. If you're looking to improve your Python, your career, and learn the mindset for success, this is the podcast for you. Let's get started.
Welcome back to another Pybites podcast episode. This is Julian, and I'm here with Bob. How's it going, man?
I'm waving. Why am I waving? We are on video, I think.
Yeah. So this is the first time we're actually recording the podcast, and we're recording the video of us recording the audio. So this is something we're trying new. So obviously, if you're listening to this on your normal podcasting software or app, you can't see it. But I think in the show notes, we might be able to do that. We'll have a link to the YouTube video so you can actually watch this episode as we're doing it. Isn't that exciting?
Yeah, you can see us, you can comment, and actually my heart started pounding now. This is nerve-wracking in the end.
Pushing outside of the comfort zone. Look, as I'm saying this, I'm staring at you.
Yeah.
The viewer. So
well, we're not live per se, right? So
no, we're not live. So we will be editing this if we have to, but normally we don't have to edit much. So anyway, how are you going, Bob? What's happening?
Yeah, pretty good. As I wrote in the email, right? I had that break in the Netherlands. It was really good. Not taking the laptop. The price was heavy in the sense that when I was back, there was a lot to do. But yeah, excited. PDM's growing, working on content, working with the people, and a lot of interesting stuff going on. Picked up some Python study as well. Of course, always learning, and yeah, good stuff. What about you?
No, nothing. In comparison, nothing.
Moving on to the next topic.
moving on.
Wait. Did you have a win?
I do have a win. So I actually think it's really important to share the small wins that might mean everything to you, but be completely mundane and mean nothing to everyone else. And so in this situation, it's on the weekend. So for those of you that have been listening for a while, in January this year, we moved houses up the coast, an hour and something north of Sydney. And this Sunday, I cut up the last cardboard box that went in the recycling bin, and my garage is finally cardboard free, so I can move stuff around. I can actually put things where I want them to go. I can move the gym properly, actually fit a car in the garage too. It's so exciting. So it means nothing to all of you listening, so I appreciate those 30 seconds, but to me it's just it's like liberation. I feel free of this stuff. So there's my win.
Peace of mind, right?
Feels good until we get the next Amazon delivery or something, and there's more cardboard back in the garage. But anyway, what about you? What's your win?
I hate that you have a gym in your garage. That's so cool.
Oh, it's so sweet. I love it. It's just gathering dust. No, I'm kidding. It's getting a workout.
Talking about gym, yeah, that's my win. I think that I'm doing the gym. I was doing the gym. I'm doing enough first thing in the morning, so I'm not putting it off. And I'm also like tracking my progress. So, progressive overload, you cannot really improve if you don't have a benchmark, right? What gets measured gets managed. So tracking that stuff and feels great, small wins, as you're saying, right? Like every week getting a little better. And that comes with just persistence.
Yeah. I love it. And I actually took your approach, by the way. I think I told you this. I have a little notebook in the garage now next to the gym with a pencil, and I write down all the reps and sets and stuff. So I can slowly see that progression of like, one extra rep this week. And it's quite nice. So I like seeing that slow progression.
Yeah.
Build an app for that. There you go. App idea. I bet it exists, but we should do it.
You can also on the YouTube comments to
Yeah,
if you have built it, an API
if
maybe.
you've already built this, please let us know in the comments below. Make sure you like and subscribe to Anyway, all right. So let's jump into the episode. This won't be the longest episode we've ever had, as it's just Bob and I. It's actually, yeah, it's you and me for the first time in,
We've
I
had
don't
so
know.
many guests, right? Which was
Mm,
awesome. But we're also like,
yeah,
when did we record together for the last time?
yeah. I know when we were planning this over the weekend over WhatsApp messages, we were like, "Oh my gosh, it gets to be just the two of us for the first time in like a month." So
Yeah.
this is exciting.
And then
I
straight
know
on to
some of
more
you.
guests for at
I
least
know,
three
I
weeks.
know. I was going to say some of you listening have said, "Oh, we love it when you guys have guests on," but we also want it to be just the two of us sometimes.
Yeah.
And but we've got guests coming for the next few episodes as well, so it's going to be pretty hectic.
We're
But
also getting closer to episode 100. Yeah.
ooh, yeah, I know.
I know.
Um,
Let's get into
that's
it.
scary. Yeah, let's jump in. So I wanted to talk about luck today, and this actually, again, a lot of these topics come from conversations that I have with people, but the concept of luck when it comes to success, and I guess the underlying point I want to make is that if anyone tells you that they weren't lucky, if they're considered successful and they say, "Oh, luck played no part in my success," then quite bluntly, and I'll say this quite bluntly, they're full of it. They don't have that self reflection going on to understand that luck did play a part. Now, I'll elaborate in a minute. I can imagine there are people who've just pulled their car over on the side of the road and going, "What did you just say, Julian? I'm successful because of my own efforts," right? But the point is that luck always plays a part, and you have to acknowledge that. And Bob, I'm just going to keep yapping here if you don't mind. Do you mind?
Yeah. You're on
Okay,
a roll.
keep going.
Keep going. Yeah.
going.
I just sitting back, nodding,
Sit back
enjoying.
and you should have a beer right now or something. But anyway,
Dude, it's
so
like noon.
it's noon. Yeah, perfect time. So
Yeah,
the
for
point
you.
is, if you do the right things, you can make luck your way. It come your way more often. So that's the thing. People who are successful actually do the things that set themselves up to be lucky, right? So it's to use a very, very simple and terrible example here, you can't win the lottery. You can't get lucky and win the lottery unless you buy yourself a lottery ticket. Now, that's a terrible example because the odds of winning the lottery are pretty much zip, right? They're nothing. But when it comes to things like a career in your Python jobs and the opportunities in front of you and all that sort of stuff, that comes with actually getting out there, right? You
Mm.
don't expect to sit on your butt and have a Python job land in your lap. Of course not, but you set yourself up for that success, for that to get lucky, for those serendipitous opportunities to take place by doing certain things. So I can have a sip of water, Bob. Do you have any examples of things that people would do to be successful in a Python space?
Sure. Yeah, and I like that saying. Um, the harder I work, the luckier I get. Right? Because
Yeah,
it's a lot
exactly.
about the effort you put into it, right? And so, to bring it back to Python development, how many projects have you built, right, and put in your GitHub? If you're looking for a Python job, how many applications, how many jobs have you applied for? CV sent out, right? These are simple metrics you can measure, right? And the more you do it, and the more you stack up your cards, in your favor, the luckier you can get, right?
Mm.
Um, I mean, if you go back to how we started, right? Pybites, we were just a Python blog. We were nobody, nothing. But
Yep.
we started to put content out there rigorously, and we got on people's radar. For example, Talk Python, right? When we
Mm-hmm.
did the 100 days of code, and when we had that resource article going viral, mentioning some people, and so we were definitely getting out there, and then opportunities started to happen. Or back in the support days when I built that server telemetry tool, right? Like, yeah, I got lucky that there was that opportunity. I was definitely watching for it. So yeah,
Mm.
I could spot it because I was actively had that strong desire to build something, right? So I got my antennas up, and then I saw that opportunity coming along, right?
Yeah. Yep. No,
Few
I'm with you.
examples.
And
Yeah.
it was same with my first coding job. It came up as I've said before, so I won't go down that path. But um, I volunteered to build this app right at work, and the luck came into it that the person in the room as I was presenting on what the app does just happened to be someone who was, preparing to hire a Python developer eventually. And so there's the luck. But if I hadn't put up my hand and said, yeah, I'll have a stab at coding this app and building it for you, I wouldn't have been in that room with that person at the same time. So, and on that note, talking about people, another point of this is getting out there and networking, right? So if you might get lucky to have a conversation with a person at, say, I don't know, work drinks, social event while you're traveling, who knows, right? But those things don't happen unless you actually go and show up to those events and start talking to people. It doesn't happen unless you reach out to people on LinkedIn and have those conversations. So, perfect example is just catching up with people for me specifically when I go overseas for travel. Um, Pure luck. This has nothing to do with a work opportunity, but pure luck that I saw a workmate that I haven't seen in 3 years in the middle of Singapore, just because I was having a conversation with someone else who happened to mention that they'd seen him, and turns out we were 500 meters apart the whole time we were eating dinner. So these things all happen, and it's lucky, but it's not until you make that luck happen, if that makes sense. You put yourself in a situation where you can get lucky.
Mm.
So what's it, Bob, if you can think of a call to action here for people listening, what can people do for their Python goals, where they're going, whether it be trying to land a job, whether it be trying to get a promotion, whether it be trying to grow their skills? What's something they can do to improve those chances and get lucky?
Yeah, I think I mentioned before about the portfolio. I think that's a critical part. So not just code every day. Obviously, you need to code every day and study and get better, but do that against something interesting, something you're passionate about, something that you can really show your work for, which usually means side projects, right? And then host those projects on GitHub, right? Make some of them open source, blog about it, write, writing, communication, critical skill. So get out there, right? And then on top of that, with the networking you were talking about, that's a magic combination, right? Not only putting your work out there, but also strategically reach out to people and see who can help you and where you can add value to people as well, right? And that we always say, right, the compound effect. So that doing that consistently over time just opens a lot of doors, right? So that's pretty general advice, but I think in the context of Python, I think it's all about the code and sharing your work.
Makes and
sense.
to add to that though is that those things don't come easy, right? So
Imposter
coding,
syndrome, right?
yeah, it takes time, right? And then actually getting out there and sharing it, making that GitHub repo public, these things all take guts, right? They all take
Courage,
confidence and courage, exactly. So, start small. That's my advice, is start small. Baby steps, share it with someone that you trust. Share it. I mean, share it with someone at work that you might, enjoy sharing code with and talking about code with. You don't have to make it public right away. Get that feedback, get the growth in there, and then start sharing it out with people. So there's all sorts of different ways you can tackle this depending on your goal. And that's, I guess, I'd be remiss if I didn't say this, right? But that's where we come in. That's where Bob and I come in, and the PDM coaching program come in, right? A lot of people come to us without that confidence of they want to build that confidence to be able to build their projects, to be able to code and share it out. They don't know where to start. They don't know. Actually, one of the biggest things that always gets me is like they don't know what they don't know, and
just going to say that.
Yeah. And they say, like, how do I become that person that knows where to get started? when I've got blank page syndrome, staring at a blank, notepad file or Vim file or whatever, right?
Hmm.
They go, how do I get started? I'm sick of being that person that hands off the code to a senior developer who takes over because I just don't know where to go from here.
Hmm.
So when you're in those situations, it really helps to have that coaching, and that's where we come in, and that's what we're proud of. And so that's where I'll end this little spiel on the PDM coaching program. But if that's something you need support with, that's where Bob and I come in, and we can definitely help with that.
Yeah, that's been transformative for people because it's a combination of, getting expert code reviews, safe environment, awesome community. Yeah, and the building process, right? It comes back every time. Like you can consume a lot of resources, but it's not until you start building something real world that you get stuck and you get through that complexity. Hence a lot of design discussions as well, and that's critical in becoming a developer. So it's fun. It's not easy, but we're very supportive, and yeah, there's that guarantee that you come out with two capstone MVP projects, which could even be a side hustle business because it's fully customized. We build with you whatever you want to build, and we don't dictate the apps. You come to us with ideas. So
Yep. No, I love it. And just to finish the topic of luck, right?
I did have one
This
thing I
Oh yeah.
wanted to insert. So when it comes with that advice you asked me for, I think it's also a matter of, and it also goes back to having app ideas for PDM potentially. It's like you have to stand up, right? Like going back to the help desk support example where I saw that opportunity to build a tool. I didn't have to do that, right? But it's also a matter of taking that responsibility and standing up, raising your hand, like I'm going to do this, right? Bit of fake it before you make it, but
Yeah.
people appreciate that because there's always more work and opportunities than people can typically handle. So stand up, say that you're going to do it, and then figure out the details later. A lot of mindset there as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's scary. Yeah. But that's exactly it, right?
Yeah.
You volunteer and then you figure it out from there. That's the greatest way to learn and grow, right?
And develop like a sensor to start looking for opportunities because there's a
Yeah,
lot of potential for things to build,
exactly. So
Sorry,
yeah,
I had
just
to,
no,
I
no,
just
man.
want to make sure that you got that on
It's
tape.
all right, man. It's fine. That's fine. I need to hear it. I wanted to hear it. So no, I was going to say on that note of luck, and that actually does relate to what you're saying, right? To finish this off, you have to stack the cards in your favor. That's pretty much it. You're not cheating the system, like as if you actually were to stack a deck of cards in your favor. That's cheating. But if you were to actually stack it in your favor by doing these things, like seeking the coaching that we're talking about, by as you just said, Bob, as by volunteering for these things, putting your hand up, getting uncomfortable, by sharing your portfolio out, by building apps, by networking, spending time with people, all those things, right? That's stacking the cards in your favor. And if you're doing all of those things, the success will come. The underlying theme through all of that is the grit, determination, and confidence to actually continue doing it, because you won't always get lucky, right? But at some point you will. That luck, all that consistency will pay off. That opportunity will suddenly hit you and you'll be like, oh yeah, great. And then, my friends, you'll have someone say, geez, you were so lucky for that to happen to you. So lucky. And you'll be the one sitting there going, what are you talking about? It wasn't luck. It was so much effort. So that's what I mean. It goes full circle. But that's the end of my luck story. How'd I do, Bob?
Great. Not just luck, hard work.
That was hard work. It didn't just, this was a lot of preparation. No, there was no preparation for this whatsoever. None of our episodes have any preparation.
Don't tell them that.
Don't tell them the secret. Okay. All right. So to wrap it up, as always, everyone, thank you for listening. But we want to share about the book. So, Bob, do you have a book that you're reading this week or have been reading?
Yeah, I finished a couple for a change.
Of course you did.
No, I usually don't finish them. I just hop from
Oh
book to
yeah,
book,
right.
So yeah, downtime in Holland. I bought a copy of Will Smith's autobio.
Hmm.
Read that cover to cover. Was interesting. A lot of mindset. I mean, here you have like one of the biggest movie Hollywood stars,
Mm.
just by the numbers and the stats. But yeah, definitely a lot of struggle as well with his family and the mindset. So the price of success as well, right? So there were
Mm.
some valuable lessons in there. Ryan Holiday's Destiny. Discipline is destiny. Well, discipline is everything, right? So highly recommend it. And a lot of what we're saying with the luck and stacking the cards in your favor, that's all discipline, right? It's showing up every day.
Mm.
So really good read. And I finished Robust Python as well. That was a great book as well. Like a lot of new things I learned from that. So sorry, I didn't mean to
Oh
do
my
3 books.
gosh. I said one. No, I didn't say anything at
I
all.
want to give people options, like autobiography,
Yeah.
mindset book,
Mindset.
and Python.
I love it. And for everyone's benefit, this was what, 5 days in the Netherlands, and you
No,
managed
I
to
didn't
cut.
read all that there, of course. No.
Oh, it was
It
just
was
a
over
Will
there.
Smith book thing.
No. The Robust Python I've been reading for over a month, so
Okay.
let's
Oh,
be
all
honest.
right.
No, it wasn't
Yeah,
luck.
there we go.
No.
Nice. That makes me feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
Not that I'm comparing, because I don't compare, right? We don't
No,
we
we
don't
don't
do
do the
that.
comparison game. No. I mean,
All
if
right.
anything, I'm jealous that you're able to digest audiobooks because I cannot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny where the stark polar opposites with that. You can consume books like it's nothing. And I sit there and struggle with some of them and prefer the audio book where I can in the car, in the shower, you name it. While I'm recording a podcast. I'm listening to one right now, in fact. Anyway, all right. So the book I'm reading really quick before we wrap it up. The new Bill Bryson book called I think
Nice.
it's called The
I,
Body
I
or
hope
the
you would
Human Body.
bring that up, as I'm
Oh yeah,
excited that you're reading that
man.
one.
I wish I had the book in this room. It's by my bed, but it is huge and it weighs a ton. It's such a thick, heavy tome of a book, a hardcover book. I really love it, and the artwork in it's beautiful. The camera work on the images that they put in is just incredible. But yeah, it's just the way he writes it to me is so entertaining and yet so intelligent. I don't know how else to put it. Really, I'm not that intelligent and articulate, but it's just such a great book. I really enjoy it. So I'm reading about the human body here, something that it interests me, but I would normally find kind of dry to read. But this is just super entertaining. So right now I'm reading about skin, and it's kind of disgustingly cool. I think it was like every minute you're shedding, or every second you shed 28,000 flakes of skin, or every minute, something like that. It's pretty horrifying. So anyway, I'm going to go have a shower or something. All right. So look, we're done. Thank you, everyone, for listening. As always, we appreciate you be tuning in every week, and especially on weeks like this where Bob and I just have a great one-to-one conversation, one to many, two to many, because you're all listening. So we appreciate you. We appreciate your support and all the people who reach out to tell us that they enjoy the episodes and come and have a chat with us on the phone. We appreciate all of you. So thank you. Anything from you, Bob, before we drop?
No, just a big thanks to our audience for exactly tuning in every week, and all the feedback we have been getting. And you can always send us an email, info@Pybites, or now, if you're watching this on YouTube, comment below for ideas, topics. We definitely always want to stay in tune with the audience and provide the best possible content for Python developer mindset, career, and I guess productivity.
Perfect. Love it. And if you watch this on YouTube, you can see us in our cool Pybites.
Yeah, I was good. It's not really...
We didn't even mean to synchronize that. We both just did it.
No, he just showed up with a Pybite shirt all of a sudden. We
have
to ask each other.
Wear. Yeah. That's all I wear, man. All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll be back next week. Cheers.
All right. Thanks. Bye. We hope you enjoyed this episode. To hear more from us, go to Pybites/friends. That is pybit.es/friends. and receive a free gift just for being a friend of the show.
And to join our thriving Slack community of Python programmers, go to pybites/community. That's pybit.es/community. We hope to see you there and catch you in the next episode. Hey everyone, thanks for watching our first YouTube video of the podcast. We appreciate it. And we kind of just wanted to see who actually stays to the end of the audio of the outro music. So if you're seeing this, we appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for watching it to the end. And we kind of want to be able to measure this because, as we always say, what gets measured
gets managed. Peter Drucker. Yeah.
So do us a favor in the comments. Can you tell me who all the characters are behind me on the wall? If you can name this one there, that's bonus points.
Yep.
But see if you can put those in the comments below. And what about you? What about behind you, Bob?
What's that building there?
Yeah. Nice.
Comment
Pop
below.
that in the comments. We want to see who actually watches to the end. And thanks again. We'll see you next week.
And we'll randomly pick a winner and send
For
them something.
what?
Oh man, for the participation.
Perfect. Let's do it.